I think it's about time for me to finally add some actual sprinting in my sessions. The previous week I was doing a couple of these maybe 10-15 meter sprints, and I wanted to get 3 reps of decent accelerations in this session before I moved over to the gym and did some upper body stuff. So the usual warm-up sets were with some basic drills, ace skips, switches, all that jazz, and also a few starts. I was noticing that I'm still a bit too upright, but my first step is decent. My first switch is also okay. And I'm noticing that maybe the next 3 or 4 steps, I start kind of losing a little in terms of low heel recovery. My foot strikes the floor and my back leg is not trailing, but it's just in line. The thighs are about in line. I would like the leg that's going forward to be a bit further in space, so that I can spend less time in on ground contact and more time in the air. So get that a bit more efficiently in. But these were the first really 3 sets where I was seriously trying to accelerate throughout the entire length. So it was about 20 meters. And as I said, the first step and the first switch was decent. And then it's just about getting the reps in and focusing on not only maintaining proper form and technique, but also trying to push into the ground and get more speed out of everything. It was really good fun. I've always liked and enjoyed running fast, and this actually gives me a chance to improve and refine my technique and possibly get even faster than I ever was when I was just running instinctively. So looking forward to that, and they feel amazing in the legs. After this, I was ready to hit the gym and get some weights under my belt, or actually over my shoulders. I was doing overhead presses, and then I did some extra work for the shoulders, loo raises that I haven't done in a while, and also some handstands. Overhead presses, 40 kilos. I did 2 sets of 6, so I was actually increasing rep count from the previous time, even though I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I have been in a bit of a deficit for the last month or so. I wanted to lose a few more kilos or rather, I wanted to lose some weight because I felt that the bulk, I guess I can call it, that I was on, the sustained surplus that I've been on for about a year or so, has kind of stalled a little, so it was a bit hard for me to gain extra weight. So with the warmer season approaching, I thought it would be a good idea to just give it a break, lose some weight, and then go back into it throughout the summer. I'm thinking that I'm gonna do maybe 2 months where I am losing few kilos, aiming at 4 or 5 kilos, nothing crazy, and then just from June or so start eating again in a surplus and see where that takes me. But that means also that my work capacity, or at least my potential for improving and progressing, is not the best because I am not eating as much as I was before. So I was happy to see that despite all this, I was still able to get a bit of progress on the overhead press. So adding 1 rep from the previous session, even though I felt like I was getting closer to no reps in reserve, to almost failure on the second set. I may have had 1 in the first one, and the next week I'm gonna try and push to get a 7th rep and see if I can hold 6 in the second one. But at that point, if I feel like I am not really progressing that much, I might actually get a couple of weeks where I'm basically cruising through the same reps for each set and try and push a bit more as soon as I start eating a bit more. Then I was doing a couple of handstands and supersetting those straight away with loo raises. Loo raises are a good exercise that I have not been doing much in recent past. Not that I really have a good excuse for that. Yeah, there was equipment missing in the gym, but this was an exercise that I was always doing in the commercial one. So at least I was getting the upright rows in, and I was being somewhat consistent with my overhead pressing and somewhat with the handstands. Even though recently I've been feeling a bit of a discomfort in the wrist, so I've been putting more attention in making sure that doesn't flare up. But yeah, this session was mainly sprints and shoulder work. I like training full body, and if I can pair some explosive stuff with some weights and do the full body, then I'm a happy guy. Ciao.